Hey, what's going on? Welcome to another live stream here, the In-Home Elderly Care Podcast Videocast YouTube channel. I'm Mario. I discuss things involving elderly care, in-home elderly care, so not from a RN, LPN, professional doctor level, but this is someone who is looking to care for or is caring for an aged loved one, or just someone who needs that elderly care or needs that in-home care. Most likely it is an elderly member in your family. I use the case study of Ruth C. Kenton, my grandmother, as I go through this process. And as I've been saying in previous videos, I'm trying to make these live streams more streamlined in the manner of making them quicker, getting to it, and not so much bloviating on my behalf. So with that said, I'll throw up the slide. We'll go ahead and get into it. Today's video is going to be about medical knowledge and willingness to learn. And this question says, oh, let me lose my picture real quick so you can see the whole question. 1 second. Let me just boom, do that. Okay, and then I'll put it back up. Am I comfortable managing medications, recognizing health changes, and coordinating medical care? Well, if this is your first time doing it and you're not a medical professional, the answer to that question is probably going to be no. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not a good fit to do this work or take on this work. It's just something that you're going to have to learn along the way. Remember, the ultimate goal is to give the customer the best level of care at a lift that is just enough. Okay, so it doesn't mean that you've got to go crazy with all the things that you're doing to give them that high level of care. You just need to be just enough at it. So if you're not comfortable managing medications or recognizing health changes, as this says, you don't have to be in the moment, but you should probably be pretty good with Google, okay? And good with doing some research and figuring those things out. Managing medications should be pretty straightforward unless we're talking about things that are over the counter. But even at over the counter, there are directions on them. The medications themselves, you should have that information on the medication itself, or you should have access to the healthcare portal from the doctor, whoever prescribed that medication. Or again, you should be able to do some general research on it, and doing that will give you that level of comfort that you're seeking. Coordinating medical care, yes, same thing. You should have access to their portals. It might take a while. It depends on the way the customer has their healthcare set up. For Ruth, she had several physicians that were under the same portal. She lived in the Raleigh area of North Carolina. She went to Wake Med, and so Wake Med uses a portal called MyChart. So there were several of her doctors that were listed under MyChart that you just needed access to that single portal to then have access to all of those different doctors and be able to schedule appointments or manage her medications, request refills on other medications. The pharmacy that the customer uses most likely will also have a portal. You need to be able to manage that, and you have to manage the coordination between the two, because that's something, if you've ever spent any time in the healthcare field or had this issue yourself, you'll realize that the doctors and the pharmacies do not always sync up with the information. So you want to hit it on both sides. Whenever a medication changes, you want to make sure that the doctor has documented it properly, and you want to make sure that the pharmacy has also received that information. It's not automatic, as you might think, as I thought going into it. If you're able to do that, then that should give you a reasonable amount of comfort as you're looking at this. And it's going to be, just like it is with everything else, it's going to be something that is a gradual process. There's going to be hits and there's going to be misses, and that's okay. The point is that when you hit a miss, you want to make sure that you're doing whatever you have to do in order to get it to where it needs to be. Get whatever that issue is or whatever that gap is. You want to make sure that you recognize it. You want to make sure that you understand why it happened, and you want to make sure that you're working the mitigation so that it doesn't happen again. That should bring you to a reasonable level of comfort, I would say. So With that quick, easy, in and out question, I'm going to throw up my last slide, which is Mario at the Alpha Italian. If you've got questions, you've got something you want me to go over, write it in, put it in the comments, give me your name and location. I want to know who you are and where you're from, where you're at. Let me know and we'll discuss it. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate you watching this video.